It is less than 16 weeks to the London Marathon 2024, where I'll be running my 4th marathon and my 3rd marathon in 18 months. I know, what was I thinking? I'm going to be sharing videos and training updates along the way, and today I'm going to talk through 3 key things: my training plan, my session breakdown, and my goal. Now, we're week 1 of 16, so we're already in the midst of the training. It's a Saturday, which is my long run day, so I'll be honest, I haven't really got time to be sat around chatting, so I'm going to get my trainers on and we're going to take this on the road. Well, here we are, weekly long run, and it does not get much better than this. Look at this, beautiful countryside, blue skies. The weather the last few weeks in England has been pretty wet, pretty windy, which meant that this is significantly better than what I had for Tuesday's tempo run. It's bloody horrible, absolutely disgusting. And I apologise, because I know that some of you who will be watching this live in places that actually have to deal with really challenging and diverse weather conditions, and a bit of rain and wind is nothing. However, also being I'm from England, we love to comment on and moan about the weather all the time, so I'm sorry. Anyway, back to today. So a little bit of context, brief history about my marathon running. So as I said, I've run 3 marathons. London Marathon in 2015, took a long hiatus, and then ran London Marathon in 2022, and then Chicago Marathon last year in 2023. So the training plan this time round for London Marathon 24 is a 16-week plan. So as I said, currently on week 1. The training plan has incorporated 3 deload weeks. So I'll be having a deload week on week 4, 8 and 12, and then a 2-week taper from week 14 down to race day on week 16. So the training plan that I'm using this time round is from the Runner Coach app, and I've used this training app before. I used it last year for London Landmarks half marathon, where I got a 10-minute half marathon PB, and I also used it last year for Chicago Marathon. However, things didn't entirely go to plan with that because I was injured for quite a significant part of that training plan, although I did still manage a pretty good PB. So the reason I'm sticking with Runner is purely because I'm comfortable with it and I'm used to it. There are loads of other good training plans that are completely free online and other good training apps. But yeah, I've got on quite well with Runner, and I found that having the structure where I could tick off each week not only my runs but my strength sessions really helped. For my first 2 marathons, I actually did it kind of self-coached. I used those words lightly because I basically downloaded various different training plans for free online and then kind of tweaked them, amalgamated them and made something that worked for me. And yeah, 2015 I was kind of new to running, so yeah, just didn't really do any sessions. It was just steady running and long runs, whereas last year for Chicago I wanted to bring in like tempo sessions, intervals, so that's why last year I followed more of a structured plan, and that's why I'm going to be doing the same again. The second thing I said that I was going to talk through is the session breakdown. So for this training block, I'm going to be doing 3 runs a week, 3 strength sessions a week, and I haven't formally embedded cross-training. I'll probably end up doing maybe 1 half-an-hour cycle on the watt bike each week, maybe 2. To be honest, it all depends how the training's going, and yeah, if I need to drop the runs and add in a bit of cross training, I'm going to be a little bit flexible. So the 3 runs, I'm going to be doing 1 session, an easy run and a long run. So the long runs won't just be going out for a steady state pace, they're also kind of like a long run session where they'll be varying speeds, some marathon pace. I've not planned this is all in the app, but yeah, the long runs are quite varied, so I'll share more about those as I go through the training block. The reason I'm picking 3 runs a week is because I've tried to do 4 as part of my previous marathon training blocks, and I just don't think I can cope with the mileage. I think running 4 or more times a week has been a contributing factor to previous injuries, and I'm also really bad, and other people might relate to this, I'm really bad at prioritising running over strength. So if I look at a plan and I've got 4 runs that week and 2 strength sessions, I'll always prioritise getting the runs done, and if anything needs to drop, it's the strength. So I'd end up doing a week of 4 runs, 1 strength session or none, which is just not the one. So basically, if I drop it down to 3 and have 2 or 3 strength sessions, I just find that I prioritise them properly, and it's just a much better mix for me in terms of getting some good quality training miles in, but also keeping the strength sessions in. As some of you might know, I also run with my dog Riggs. What I'll be doing is usually blending that in with my easy miles, so he can come with me once a week for all of or part of my easy miles, or there might be weeks where there's 1 extra like short 5k easy run. So again, that's why I pick 3 runs a week, because every now and again I might add in 1 extra easy one. So the strength sessions, I've set myself a stretch goal of 3 sessions a week, and ideally I'd like to do all 3. However, I'd also be happy if I managed 2 a week. The strength sessions are also embedded in the Runner Coach app, so they're really easy to follow. I'll share what it looks like on the screen, and I've picked running specific strength training, so I'm not doing any crazy really heavy deadlifts or anything like that. I might do a bit of that, but predominantly I'm going to be doing kind of bodyweight exercises, focusing on keeping injury free basically, and getting my legs strong and powerful to keep me going through that marathon. So, as I said before, my long runs as part of this training plan are not just long, comfortable, steady state runs. They have sort of speed pickups within them. So I've got about 1.5 miles until I'm going to be picking up the speed for a few miles. So I'm going to get a little bit of fuel on board, get those tough miles done and get home. And then when I get back, I will talk through what my goal is for London Marathon this year. Me. Okay, long run is done. I actually finished quite a few hours ago. I got back and headed straight back out again because Max is training for an ultramarathon, and today he ran his first ever marathon distance. So I headed out to find him. I took some provisions, some snacks, some water, and I ran the last 1.5 miles with him. So yeah, I'm doing a 16-week training plan for a marathon, and he's just casually running marathons on Saturdays. Gross. So yeah, don't run ultramarathons basically. Anyway, back to me. So the last thing I wanted to talk about before I finish up the video is my goal for London Marathon 2024. So I'm going to be training towards a target of
a sub 3:45 marathon. So this would be an 11-minute PB. You might be thinking, well, Maisie, hang on a minute, it is ambitious. However, I've mentioned before that my training for the Chicago Marathon just did not go to plan. I actually did really well on race day, and I'd managed to get myself into a position where I could run a good race, and I did get a PB and a sub 4 marathon. If you look at my pacing chart, I basically held back for the first 20 miles, took things really cautiously, and said to myself, if I was feeling good at 20 miles, I'd let myself go, which is what I did. So it doesn't look great for a marathon pacing. However, for the strategy I was working for, it worked. And that basically averaged me out at an 8:53 minute mile pace. To hit a sub 3:45, I'd have to run about an 8:35. However, we do also need to account for the fact that you often run a little bit more, and London is a particularly congested course. So the last 2 times I've ran it, I ended up running about 26.5 miles. So to take that into account, I'm going to be aiming for around 8.5 minute mile pace. So you may also be thinking, sub 3:45, not a very specific goal. And I agree, it's not. However, at the moment, I'm wanting to keep things a little bit vague. This is my first big build since my injury last year. So I'm going to see how the next few weeks go. And then when I get to the midpoint of my training plan, I'll start to formulate an A goal, a B goal, and a C goal, depending on how things have gone. So if you're interested in seeing how my training goes and seeing how my goals materialise, then please subscribe and follow along. I'm going to be sharing weekly update videos on YouTube and also on my Instagram as well. So week 1 of London Marathon training ticked off. I'm going to go and enjoy this cup of tea and get on the sofa with Riggs. Take care, and I'll see you soon.